Too late. Um, I don't want my video to just be look at me, you know. So I'm trying to be like really, really purposeful and take advantage of my time. I just wanted to say, I'm gonna be 26 in like a couple months. So it's about that time when I'm really taking my emotions and my plans for life really seriously. Like actually. And I know people are not really grown until they're like well in their 30s and sometimes 40s. And sometimes people can be those ages and they're still not 100% as emotionally mature or intelligent. Well, no, not so much intelligent, because people can be intelligent, like emotionally or literally, but that has nothing to do with real life scenarios, right? Like real life things that are going on in people's real life, like outside of social media, outside of what you see and what you hear. So minus all that, I just wanted to do this right quick because I'm noticing I'm getting older, and a lot of things that I used to do I don't do, and some things I still do or I still struggle with. But one day I'm gonna have children and like a marriage and stuff like that. So I just wanted to kind of like use this as a checkpoint to look back on some times and know I'm not perfect, and like I still struggle with like accepting some of these things and like really not letting some of these things that I'm about to talk about be, you know, so defining. Or how do I say it? Like, basically today, this video is supposed to be about, I guess, how I would raise my kids to be either a man or a woman, right? So just simply like outside of all the thousands of genders there probably are, and like, etc., etc. I guess it's more so about understanding feminine versus masculine energy and not making someone feel like they're too much or too little of something, right? I just wanted to I'm gonna start with the girl one since I'm a girl. And I just thought some of these things would be helpful even if you don't want to have children one day, or if you're like struggling with some of these things yourself, like you feel like some of these things you can kind of agree with a little bit. But I would teach my daughter to be feminine without being like a doormat, right? So I feel like I struggle sometimes with this. Like growing up, I was a little bit of a tomboy. I wasn't like the most boyish, like I wasn't playing sports or nothing, but I was just like okay with like wearing pants all the time, and I didn't mind like just not being so girly all the time. My household had like a single mother in it, so she had to carry on a lot of extra weight and like responsibilities, like working and things like that, and like she had to not focus so much on her looks all the time and stuff like that. So on top of that, I feel like people think being feminine means being like super submissive or like super okay with everything and nod your head and say yes and be a girl and be in your place. And it's like, I don't think that's really femininity. I feel like it's like deeper than that. I think it's like more like creativity and like being in tune and being, yes, soft, but not like letting somebody tell you you're a girl or you're a woman and just shut up, or like, you know, like you don't gotta be bossed around just because you're a girl. Like feminine energy, I feel like should be more respected versus like conquered. You know what I'm saying? Let's go help. Yeah. And so that's the first thing I wanted to say. Being a woman isn't just raising children and cleaning and cooking. Now, so you could do what you want with your life. Like, one day that I want to do that. Like, I want to do those things because that's the type of woman I want to be. And, you know, not be so comfortable with, like, I don't know, you know, letting stuff sit. Like, not that I'm like actually like that, but recently I've just felt so out of touch with my like femininity. I would just sometimes let things pile up, or like I worry about it later because I have more important things to worry about, like my looks, for example, or like tidying up every single day, or like all them type of things. It's like, no, you don't have to feel like a maid, but you know, those are more like softer things to do. But yeah, I don't feel like women should be made to feel like that's the life that they should live just because they're a woman. Like, you know, some people really are. I don't want to say more masculine because that just makes it sound so like they're not a woman still. But I feel like some women have more energy and like testosterone and strength for more than those typical things. It's like, I used to work at warehouses. I used to see women that were really beefy, and they were working literally as hard as the men. And I used to just be like, well, I couldn't see you like really being a housewife type. And not to be offensive, it's just like they didn't seem like that was their energy. So it's like I just wanted to tell myself that like you could do what you want. Like, you can live the type of life you want. Like, if you understand the type of person you are and using your strengths to like advance you in life versus like being made to feel like it's a weakness in a way, or like a flaw, right? So you could be a woman, any type of woman you want to be, but I'm saying I just don't want to make my, hopefully one day my future daughter feel like that's your agenda for life. Like, if she ends up being like just not so dainty, or like super 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 girly. And then I would teach her her value or her beauty is not just her looks or her body. So it's like your beauty literally definitely starts within, which is why I used to always focus more on my character, not like things that are flaws and like things that people work on all the time. I'm talking about just your character, like your core character, like who you are no matter what is going on, whether you're happy, sad, upset, whatever. So I would just teach her to, yeah, like take care of yourself and look nice and feel nice, but like don't let somebody make you feel like if you're not doing those things to a T every day, or like you're not appealing to the male gaze all the time, your worth is below the next person doing that. Because looks are just looks, okay? It's like, I always knew that, and I used to kind of let myself be so comfortable and humble and this and that all the time. And it's like, no, you're allowed to look nice and feel nice, and nobody's really allowed to make you feel like that is a necessity to be beautiful. Like, you know, it is nice though. It is nice to look and feel nice. It's just like, you want to make sure people value you from the inside first, and not just how you're looking. Because if you focus too much on your phenotype or like your outer appearance, I feel like that just doesn't leave any room for like purpose, like who you are. It's like, oh, people just run around feeling like, oh, I just have this, and I look like this, and I look like this, and I look like this, and I'm pretty, and I'm pretty, and I'm pretty. It's like, yeah, you are. You're allowed to feel like that, but it's like, what else? Your value is not just external. That's what I'm basically saying. I would also teach her that protection is not solely from a man. I'm not just talking like bearing arms or like men with muscles. I mean, like, you can pray. You can pray all the time, and that's good protection. Like that would be like a spiritual form of protection, and then like you would see it manifest in real life. would say your protection definitely comes from you first. Like, you have to protect your own feelings first, and then you have to protect your rights. You have to speak up for yourself and, like, stand up for yourself if you feel like somebody's being, maybe, let's say, like, mean, or, like, being, like, kind of sort of like a pushover, or just, if you feel like you're kind of alone-ish in the world. Like, I'm really privileged right now to be in a space that I'm in, so I don't feel like I have to put myself out into the wild and actually feel like, oh no, like, I don't have anything on me to protect myself. But just remember, it's not just about that. It's like God works wonders and in mysterious ways. So that's why sometimes people get into gunfights and they don't even get grazed, or they don't even have a gun, and they all right, because it's more than that. It's like, just, you know what I'm saying? Prayer alone is not going to save the day every time, but it's like, just know that that's valid. You could also, like I said, you could end up bearing your own arms one day, or like you could get training and stuff, all that type of stuff. So it doesn't have to be like, oh, if I don't have a man by my side, I'm just not going to be okay. But that's like something that's hard to like think about, especially if you're like a smaller framed woman, or like you're just shorter, or like you're just attractive. It's like, not to say that people don't target and attack women that they don't think are attractive, because women are women, period. Men, or sometimes people just, they move how they want with women. But protect yourself first. And then I would say, this one I struggle with a lot, because I'm kind of sensitive, and I was always running away from that part of me, because I never wanted to be crying all the time, or like angry, or brought out of character. But I would say to my future daughter one day, to not let words hurt you, you know. And that saying, like, sticks and stones may break your bones, but words can never hurt you. I always struggle with the words, because I feel like I grew up in a household that was like both sensitive and insensitive. It was like my matriarch was kind of like wounded AF, so they passed down a lot of like wounding over and over again. And it was just like, I learned to kind of have tougher skin, but it didn't mean like stuff didn't hurt my feelings, you know. So I had to like recently learn to dial down the reactions to people's words, or being mean, or like, you know, trying to get a reaction out of you, or make you feel maybe how they feel. It's like, that's life. Like, people do that to people sometimes, but at the same time, I just want to teach her one day that words are just words, and somebody's opinion is just that, or how somebody sees something is just that. And it really actually shouldn't bring out a character, because sometimes you gotta take accountability for your feelings and how you react to stuff. Even if somebody is being a bully, or somebody's being effed up, or like is giving abuse, like, it's just like, it shouldn't faze you, you know. But yeah, that one is a little tough to remember sometimes, because I'm trying to balance standing up for myself and defending myself, and then also like making sure I don't jump out of line and like give like angry person angry person, because I know my mom wasn't angry, or like my matriarch, like her grandmas and great grandmas and whoever else. I know they're not angry bad people. It's just people don't want to admit they're sensitive, or like they have feelings, and they're scared to be in their feelings and like be feminine, because you know why? Because the world. Anyway, oh yeah, I would teach her to never compare herself to another woman. And my mom, I'm not gonna lie, I'm not trying to make this about my mom. I'm trying to make this about as general as possible, but I'm not gonna lie, my mom did not do a really good job at this. And despite being something I would call, I guess, her example child, or like the child that was like doing all the firsts, like graduating or like, I'll say graduating on time, not alone. And then like going to a college, like a university is like, even though I felt like I was that child to her, I still felt like it was so much pressure and like, you know what I'm saying? It was like just because I wasn't getting the brunt of her outward or like overt abuse doesn't mean I didn't experience my own covert abuse, right? Like trying to make me feel like she's trying to live through me, or like, you know what I'm saying? Or it's like she knew how to appreciate all of our me and my siblings' individuality, like man and woman, or being male and female, because I have male and female siblings. But I feel like when it comes to like the female part, I feel like she knew how to appreciate differences and things like that, but she had a funny way of trying to keep all of her daughters in a certain box, like don't get too big or don't get too dark, or like it was so weird. It was like it just feels so sad to rethink. So taking my mom out of it and my experience out of it, I would just teach my daughter to not compare herself to anybody. I don't care if that's looks or like what they can do or what they're capable of, and I wouldn't try to make my daughter feel like she's less than or like not doing as good as the next person, because that shit is so damaging to people. Even if you feel like the person that's doing right, it's like one day something's not gonna be right, and then you'll be getting the same old treatment anyway, right? So it's like, I would just teach her not to compare herself, her body, her looks, her capacity or capabilities, not capacity, and just stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? It's not healthy. Envy is like the ugliest trait, so it really creates envy in people, and like it could be really deadly. Like it wouldn't even be your fault, but you know what I'm saying? I would just teach my daughter to love herself and be content with where you are in life. And even if you want to improve or like just still be content and love yourself and accept. You don't have to like everything, but just being content means you love yourself no matter if your hair is done or not, no matter if you look great that day or not, or like no matter if you're getting good grades or bad grades. Like I don't want to make that person feel like they're just not good enough. And then I would teach her she's allowed to have a mind of her own. Like you don't have to be so, what's the word, like I don't want to say submissive again. Like you can have an opinion that's different from the masses, or like I say a man, like yeah, like you're not stupid or you're not weird for just having an individual thought process, or like you just have your own way of thinking about stuff, or like, you know, just because you're a girl doesn't mean you have to agree with the next person's saying, or like just nod your head. I would definitely teach her that her voice matters, because I really struggled with feeling like my voice mattered growing up a little bit, because I felt like, you know, a lot of the women in my family had to be a little emasculated, a little more money focused, or like work focused, like I said, because of the way things happened in life, right? I'm not gonna get into detail, but it just felt like if you're not making money, be quiet, or like if you don't have something on the table, or like you're not doing this, like shut up. And it's like, no, but I can still have something important to share, and like I'm still human, like, you know what I'm saying? I don't know how to really describe making somebody feel like that. It's like basically like kind of like homeless people, or like people that can't speak English all that well, or like people people that work at McDonald's, or like people that just aren't at the top of society, right? Like making the most money, having the best job, having approval, basically. It's like your voice matters, your opinion matters if you let it, and if people don't think that, that's fine. But you don't want to just be talking just to talk, or saying shit just to say it. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't want it to seem like freedom of speech equals be an a-hole, or be like totally useless. Like, no. But I'm saying, if you feel like you have important things to say that's sitting on your chest, or like it's sitting in your gut, or like you feel like something you have to say would be of help, that's not coming out of the universe's ass. It's like it's a thought form. It's happening because, you know, we're all connected, and we're all breathing the same air, and we're all like chemtrail or not, and we're all here, so we have to all like share the world and care about one another, and care about what the next person feels like or has to say. Like, nobody's above or below anybody just because you don't agree with something that they do or say, or don't do, or don't say. So, one man's trash is another's treasure. It's like, which you may not find value in, somebody else will, basically. And then I would teach her, like, using your body, like, to get by is literally a last resort. Like, you don't want to feel like, you know, you're selling yourself short, or like you're selling yourself if you don't want to, like, right? Like, some people will try to humble a woman or a lady or a girl even, like, and train her into this idea that you'll only be taken seriously, or you'll only be valued if you show off your body, or like if you just use your body like the way you're supposed to as a woman. And it's like, that's actually kind of really toxic, because women aren't entitled to give themselves away just because they have woman parts. It's like, you know what I'm saying? I'm just gonna keep it short because I kind of talked about a lot of that already. Unless you like the type of life or lifestyles, like, I'm not judging the next person. Like, I'm really not, because everybody's allowed to do what they want. Like, men are not entitled to give shit just because they're men either. So it's like, I'm just trying to be realistic and helpful, and just make people feel like sometimes you do things the way you want to, or the way you have to. But any type of life that you're living, or you feel like you're subjected to, or like exposed to, you can change your life as slowly or as quickly as you want to, as gradually or as seriously you want to, right? Like, you take your baby steps, and you can like just treat yourself how you would want to be treated, basically. Like, I don't know. I would teach her that progress and success is personal, right? So this kind of ties into, like, don't compare yourself to other people. So basically, it's personal. If you feel like you did something today that you normally wouldn't do, if you feel like you got up and you brushed your teeth and you really didn't want to get up today, if you feel like you read a fucking chapter of a book or 10 pages and normally you don't do that, if you feel like you got a job and it's just not the best job, but you finally got a job, if you feel like you learn how to do your makeup, but if you feel, you know what I'm saying, it's like, don't feel like success has to be widely approved of by, like, something that you're doing has to be widely approved by other people to be successful. Like, you know, sometimes I be having my opinions and like things to share and say, and I noticed sometimes people feel like they're allowed to tell you what you know and don't know because you don't have something or you never had, and they don't actually know you. They don't know you. They don't know you. So it's just like, know yourself, know what you're saying, and know that you're helpful to somebody. Whether you're a prime example, a perfect example or not, it's like, you know that saying, like, do as I say, not as I do. Like when parents say that, it's like, I tell you things not to just be talking to you and yelling at you and being up your booty hole. I'm telling you because maybe I was doing those things, and maybe if I'm still doing it, it doesn't mean copy me. It doesn't mean like no, I struggle with this a little bit because sometimes I literally give advice and I'm not perfect or like this perfect angel at all in the world. Like I still struggle with a lot of things, like a lot, but I'm definitely improving. Like I would say so, because man, just because I say, look, if you don't smoke or if you don't drink, don't doesn't mean I'm gonna stop today or tomorrow, but it's just I'm telling you because it's expensive and it's annoying and it's like that was my choice. Like, you know what I'm saying? As a coping mechanism now. It's not supposed to be your only coping mechanism. Anyway, I'm done with that part. I would teach her that she's her own best friend first, right? So you don't need a million friends to be of value. You know, sometimes people feel like a girl is weird or she's strange or something's wrong with her because she doesn't have a lot of friends. Sometimes them type of girls don't have a lot of friends because they just choose not to. And it's like also, you don't know what type of trauma people have or like what type of betrayals people have dealt with, what type of games people be playing. Not to say that every time you reject someone it's because they did something to you or just because you don't want to be someone's buddy or like, you know, talk to someone every day and being there for them every single time. It doesn't mean that something's wrong with you or like you did something or like it's none of that. It's like people's lives are like a pizza, right? And you're only a slice. You're not the whole pizza. It's things that people go through in life, and it's like it's really hard sometimes for people to have friends, and it's actually better to be your own best friend first anyway, because man or woman, you can't really trust friends or people these days, not that much. Not to say that people shouldn't try to make friends, like no, try or do, but have discernment and have your own judgment and like have your own idea of what a friend should be, and not let somebody tell you what a friend is or like what type of friend you should be or what type of friend they should be to you. It's like you make all those you make that whole checklist yourself and you check off the boxes yourself. You know what I'm saying? And then I would say lastly, being a mean girl is not cute. Even if you're the most beautiful thing walking on the earth, being a bully or being mean or like always having something mean to say about people, right? Like not like jokes, especially if you know you think you're the finest thing walking and nothing's wrong with you and your shit don't stink. It's like some type of people I don't rock with. It's like, you know, the type of pick-me's or like type of people that try to just feel like they have something more than you or this or that, or like I don't know. I just want to teach my future daughter or even myself. Right, I'm not really a mean person, but I would teach my future daughter, like, even if you end up being the most beautiful girl in your school or your grade or your hometown or whatever, being mean is going to make you automatically not cute. Now, if somebody's being mean to you or bullying you constantly, yeah, just stand up for yourself. Stand up for yourself. Don't be a doormat, but don't just be mean for fun. It's not cute. It's actually kind of disturbing. Like, you know, you ever seen a group of girls or like somebody that's just like always trying to Joan on someone, like, or what's the word? Not Joan. Always being mean. Like, they'll just be laughing at somebody, like, or just pointing out somebody's flaws, or like, if there's, let's say you're in school and somebody just getting picked on all the time, and it's the same person, and it's like, you ever been that type of friend that's just sitting there like, you know what, I don't think we should be being mean, or like, this is kind of not funny anymore, like, this is kind of strange, just like, and that friend just want to keep being mean, and like, she just, and then the next day they do it again, and it's like, oh, I can't be friends with you, anyway, that type of shit, right? A lot of what I said, definitely is pretty much going to apply for the man part. So how I would raise a boy into a man, I would teach him to feel his emotions, but not act on them. I would say aggressively. Like, you can act on positive emotions. Like, if you love someone, you tell them, or you show them in a way that they can receive it. Don't just try to do the most and then expect somebody to understand what you're saying. Communicate, but effectively. But I would teach him to feel his emotions and not act out of them aggressively. Like, if you're angry or upset, I would really work really hard on, like, trying to make sure he doesn't end up looking like a beast that he's probably not, because sometimes people don't know what to do with their feelings, and they're actually really sad inside. They're not really so aggressive or so mean. They just don't know what to do with those feelings. It's like they don't really get out much, probably, or like they just have maybe some pride and don't want to be so sensitive, or like, so like when people don't want to be a simp, and it's like, no, women love simps, by the way. You don't gotta be like a pushover or anything, but I notice simps always get the best end of the stick. They always got the best wives, the best lives. It's because they put their pride aside. Bars. Anyway, like, you don't have to be like, I worship you, step on me. No, like, unless you want to be like that, but no, simps always be good, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that saying, happy wife, happy life. You be happy too, though. Please be happy. But anyway, I'm done. And then I would say that being a man is not just about sports and fighting and the color blue, right? So men, you're allowed to like pink, like, and then you can paint your nails. I wouldn't think you're gay for that. I wouldn't think you're like a certain orientation for your style, or like what you're interested in. Like, some men do hair and nails, or some men like have long hair, or like some men listen to like what you call girly music, right? Like, a lot of dudes feel like being masculine is, I gotta listen to the hard body music, and I gotta drive a certain car, and like I gotta do this. Now, obviously, there's jokes in the world. Like, if you see somebody driving a little Camry or something, you're gonna, boy, you're a little car. But at the end of the day, like, relax. Like, it's still a man. Just because he don't got some fucking truck, don't mean he's not the man. Basically, just what's the word? Gender roles, or no? Just judging people. You're judging people, basically. Oh yeah, and I would teach him, you don't have to be tangibly rich or famous to be somebody. So your somebodyness is however you make it, right? So like, I'm not super religious, right? I'm not, but I rock with Jesus. I like that I am truth. I like that type of stuff. Like, that's the way and the life, because you are who you say you are. If you feel like the president, you're the president. Fuck it, right? You're the president of your life or your world. If you feel like you're a boss, you can be a boss. You just gotta act like a boss. Like, you know what I'm saying? You can't just be bossy and feel like, oh, I'm a boss. Or like, you can't just be like, man or woman. You can't just be like, You know, don't let nobody tell you who you are. Basically, is what I'm saying. And like, just because you don't have the most money right now, or you don't have a million trillion followers, does not mean you are nobody, or like you will never be nobody, or like you're broke. It's like people are rich in spirit first, and then honestly, the rest follows. And you know, um, be who you are, say who you are, and feel who you are. Like, just make sure you don't have to prove that to nobody, but just make sure you know who you are. Like, you don't have to rush and rob Peter, Paul, and Harry to try to finally have or finally be someone. It's like at that point you're chasing a persona. You're not being yourself. You know. And then I was teaching that his strength is in his mind before his muscles, right? So I know there's a lot of men that feel like probably insecure about their bodies and stuff like that. Not just women, right? So they probably feel like if they're a little skinnier, they have to like get super big to feel more protected. Or like if they feel short, they feel like they're an easier target. Not easy, but people just automatically assume they're weaker or weak. And then if they're like, you know, just a little bigger, they can't run as fast, or like, etc., right? So your strength is in your mind and not your muscles. Like I was saying about the women protecting themselves type deal. It's like, prayer works, right? You pray for yourself, you pray over your life, and you work on your body, you work on your mental health and all them type of things, so that you can be the type of man you want to be. And you have to accept yourself as you are, right? Like you can't hate yourself. You're not allowed to do that in my opinion, because you're always going to be yourself, or you're going to be in this body that this entire lifetime. Let's not say always, right? So you have to like accept that just because somebody looks physically stronger than you, or you're not where you want to be, doesn't mean you're weak, or like you're not as strong as them. Like in another way, like there's people with disabilities, there's people with like differences in life, and then they have to work with their life and be strong in their right. So you know, how do I say it? Just know that being extra macho doesn't make you all that of a man anyway. It's like you don't have to be so intimidating and combative, or what's the word, confrontational, or like, you know. Now if you're doing that out of like fear or defense, like fair, but I'm talking about people that just kind of like bully type men. It's like just because you look strong doesn't mean your mind is. I ain't gonna lie. And sometimes the best people are people that have strong minds, and like they have like patience, and like they aren't so arrogant, or like, you know, like it's good to be full of yourself and be confident. That is a good thing. Like work on yourself and show it off, or be you. But then like, you know, character is better than looks to me. Again, I would say words shouldn't hurt him, bring him out of character. I feel like a lot of dudes don't admit that words do hurt them, and sometimes they kind of harbor resentment, or like, you know, because they don't want to be so feely and like so sensitive, right? So sometimes words can hurt guys' feelings, and so instead of communicating that, sometimes they kind of act on that later on in life, and you trying to figure out what you did wrong, or blah blah blah. And it's like, it's just better for people to just communicate how something makes them feel. And like, words shouldn't bring you out of character, right? So like, it shouldn't make you feel like, oh, you have to plot on this person for the rest of their life, or like you have to just wish on somebody's downfall because they said something that hurts your feelings, or like, you know, it's like it's the same with the woman portion that I was talking about. And then a lot of times, dudes can have their feelings hurt and they want to fight. Like, they feel disrespected. Like, you know what I'm saying? Um, and then people like to play with fucking tools they shouldn't be playing with out of, like, defense or things like that. And it's like, people feel crossed at the smallest thing sometimes. It's like, you gotta have a stronger mind than that. And I'm a woman that's working on not letting words hurt me, right? But I know men maybe having that testosterone for real and that drive to like attack or like fight for real. So I'm just talking about that. Yeah, and don't compare yourself to other men. It's like you'll never be him. He'll never be you. Like, you have what you have, he has what he has. It's like, I'm gonna keep it as simple as that, because a lot of guys have such horrible egos. Like, they really feel like they're that guy just because they have like things that other guys want. And it's like, and they make people feel really small or below them just over money or items. If you're any type of real woman, you're not gonna find that attractive, right? You're not. You're just not. I'm gonna speak for myself. I don't think that's really nice or like attractive. It's like, just like what you like, have what you have, and don't be so snooty or like, but at the same time, don't be a hater either. Like, if you notice somebody has stuff that you want and you feel like it's hard for you to obtain, don't be feeling like, oh, they had to have robbed or killed for that, or like, I'll have it but better. It's like, it's coming out of a place of envy, and it's not cool anymore to even have this shit. Everybody sit down, basically. Yeah, love yourself, love what you have in life, be grateful for what you have in life. God could give you something and take it away in a heartbeat, and at the same time, just focus on yourself. Like, have tunnel vision. Don't look at next man's Instagram. Don't look at next man's junk. Don't look at next man's car. Don't look at their shoes. Don't look at their wallet. Don't pocket watch people. Don't life watch people like too much now. Like, and then with this feeling of like, I want that, or like, how come they have it and I don't, or like, I have more than you, or like, I'm better than you. That type of shit is just like, ew. Either way it go. And I would teach him that he's allowed to have nice things without fearing losing it. Or like, I would teach him to appreciate and have his nice things without being afraid of losing it, right? That could be like an item or a person or like anything like that, right? So it's like, if you feel like you have a partner, and you feel like a lot of people give them attention, or like, you feel like, no, I really don't want to lose this person, but there's too many eyes on them and too many people. It's like, why do you feel like you already lost it? It's like, you know what I'm saying? And then you make that person feel like they're not allowed to be their full self, or like just shine or be authentic, not because you don't like them, or like because they're doing something wrong, because you feel like you could lose that person. I don't know if it's because you're comparing yourself, or et cetera, or like, if you have a nice car and you feel like, don't have your nice car in the hood, I'm sorry. If you feel like you have a nice car or like a nice house, you feel like somebody gonna break into it, or you feel like somebody's gonna steal my car, and oh my god, like, you're always worrying about that type of stuff. It's like, don't have it. Don't have it, because you gotta pray or work on your paranoia a little bit, or like, you just don't have that type of shit. All right, be honest. Because if you're feeling like that, you thinking like that, you already lost it. To be honest, like, it's like, not to be mean, it's just like, have your nice things and know that God gave it to you for a reason. Like, it's yours for a reason. Like, I don't know, man. Sometimes people really could think their life into every fear that they thought about is like, damn. And then it's like you have to take accountability for like the pushback or like your mentality, you know. It's like, yeah, people take accountability for like their own actions, their own feelings, their own life, but the mind is a powerful thing. Sometimes people really be thinking some shit up and it happens. It's like, not because somebody did something that made you think that that could happen. You already thought like that. Let's be honest. Oh yeah, and then I would say you're allowed to have an opinion that's different from other men without feeling like you gotta kill him or fight him or like he don't know what he's talking about or she don't know what she's talking about or like, you know what I'm saying? Just I like the type of people that know how to agree to disagree, right? It's like some people, not just men, but I notice men really do this. It's like their point is it to them. It's like they don't want to hear somebody else's opinion or how they feel because maybe they feel like other people did that to them. And it's like, why are you trying to be who hurt you? At the same time, everyone's allowed to have an opinion, like, duh. But just like, you know, I don't like when people like to argue down with people or like, they don't want to hear people out even. And it's just like, well, how do you expect people to hear you out if you feel like you're always right? Maybe they don't care about being heard out. They just don't care at all. So, that's what I'm saying. But, of course, I would say, like, your voice matters. Like, I kind of said that already. Your voice matters. I would teach my son that, like, don't use freedom of speech to be a bully or an a-hole. Like, you use freedom of speech, like, especially intentionally trying to hurt someone. Right? And so it's like, use your voice for the right things. Like, you know, don't be cursing people and like wishing ill over people and like, what else? Just be careful. Just say what you gotta say. You don't have to explain yourself too much like I do. It's like, nah, you don't have to explain yourself till the fucking wheels of the earth fall off. But yeah, your voice matters. Just because you don't have the flyest, highest, greatest things don't mean that nobody should listen to you. Like I said, there's value anywhere in everything. So I wouldn't not listen to a homeless guy or a homeless person just because they're homeless, unless I'm hearing some shit that just really don't make sense, like it's giving crackhead. I'm sorry. Then I have to cut it short at that point, but I'm sorry. Your voice still matters. F it. If you're a crackhead out there and you're just outside talking to yourself and people don't understand you, keep going. Don't keep doing crack, but keep going. And then I would teach my son or anybody, a gun is a last resort, especially using that shit. I'm so serious. I don't really play with guns. I don't like the idea of somebody playing with guns. Like, I don't think that shit is a joke. Unless something is serious. AF. Right? Like, if you feel like you have to defend yourself from, like, a wild animal. Or, like, somebody coming at you with a gun. Right? Like, how do police use their guns? Or, like, if you feel like someone's breaking into your house and they have, like, a weird... Any, you know what I'm saying? Like, them type of things where it's like, don't just... Or if somebody pisses you off or makes you upset. You know, sometimes I listen to music. I do. Sometimes I listen to music, and sometimes the lyrics in some rap that I listen to, it sounds like, you know, they just want to pop a head and get him off the face of the earth. And it's like, just because he said something they don't agree with, or just because he looked at his bitch, or, you know what I'm saying? It's like, put the gun down. People need to, or like shoot by, what is it, drive-bys and and robbing and killing, and that's a whole other topic about the black community, not just black people, because I know rap is more than black people, but man, us people of color gotta do better. Like, well, people that aren't people of color, they don't be using their guns all that well either, but like some of them hunt, or like, I don't know. And my point is, a gun should be a last resort. I feel like people need to have more emotional maturity, especially with like guns or like vehicles. You know what I'm saying? That shit is really not a joke. It's not like fighting. You can heal up and you can feel okay, or like it's not something to play with. Like, that's people's lives. That's people's lives that you're playing with, and I feel like life is worth more than taking offense and trying to hurt somebody or kill somebody. That could apply to women too, but man, I noticed it's more of a masculine thing to feel like pew pew, yeah, right? So, mine anyway. Progress and success is personal, so I would teach him that. Like, if you feel like you lifted weights today, normally you don't. If you feel like you got your first car and it's just like a Honda Civic, if you feel like you like you are working on, like, what's it called, socializing, and you normally don't. What else? If you feel like dying and you don't. I'm saying your progress is so personal, and like your success is yours. Like, that applies to women too. So I don't want this to be like literally what I already said. But I would just be saying, like, your success and your progress is not just, I want to see your charts. I want to see your shit. Like, you know, people have like friendly competition in life, so it's like, okay, you want to be moving forward and like progressing, but you don't want to be like feeling like just because your numbers don't look like the next person's, or just because your life doesn't look like the next person's, means you're not succeeding. It's like sometimes we have to have like learning curves and go through things, and sometimes failure is actually success because you're learning what doesn't work for you no more. Or like, you know what I'm saying, guy or girl, but like, be your own best friend first. Like, I don't think guys really be pressed for friends like that. I think they actually struggle with like trusting people and trusting men and all that type of stuff. I don't blame people for not trusting people. I don't think that's just a guy thing. I don't blame when people say they don't have that many friends. I get it, because people are very strange, and people perceive things based on their past trauma. Like, that's anybody you run into, like, honestly. And some people can have the best group of friends and then it turns sour, and some people can have a couple of friends or a group of friends and it lasts forever, and some people can have a couple friends and they understand each other from a distance, or like it's never any bad blood, and then some people just can't do that. It's like, I don't know, you know what I'm saying? That applies to men or women, but I notice like guys, it's more likely for them to be out on their own, and that doesn't mean they're their own best friend, right? Sometimes they're their worst enemy, so it's like, don't be your worst enemy. Don't be calling in all the things that you don't like about the world and hate about the world, and being a walking stick of hate, and then blaming the world for reflecting that back to you, right? Be your own best friend. Like, be kind to yourself and be kind to others, and then the world will be so colorful, like, out of nowhere, mine. And then being a bully is just a cowardly move to me, because I know not just girls bully, like, guys bully too. Guys be bullying like not just in movies, right? So it's like, the bully in movies is always ugly. Like I'm talking about, just They be feeling like they is all that in a bag of chips. OT, they just be like, yeah, but don't be a bully. Like, I don't care if you have the most money or the most shoes or most cars. Don't be picking on the next man because he ain't got it. Focus on yourself. Like, what do you have it for?